I got nothing.
All right, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 5, 7,
3, 3, 5.
1. Ready, go. All
9.
right. Hello and welcome to the Cave Troll Podcast. I am Terry,
And I am Dave.
and with us we have a special guest.
My name is Jordan.
This is Jordan. He's dating my roommate. Say hi.
Hi.
He's cool. He's a cute little guy. He's doing all right.
I'm just adorable.
We brought Jordan on today because we want to talk about a little bit of Game of Thrones, the board game. He's a big Game of Thrones board game player, as in he plays it with us when we play it.
Because I like board games.
What other board games you like?
I like Catan.
Scrabble?
I have the Marvel Legendary game that we
Ooh,
played.
that one's good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Deck building games are my jam. Big fan of Ascension, Legendary, DC deck building game.
Hell yeah.
There's a couple of new ones. Have you tried the new Legendary, the alien one?
I have not.
Encounters, I think is it's called.
I haven't tried it yet.
Legendary was weird. It was hard to get used to, but once you did, you were like, I want to play this more.
Yeah, I remember the first time you played it, you're like, I don't know if it's for us. And the second time, you're like, this is the shit.
We're doing it.
I like it because the way it describes attacks and different things, each character does seem a little bit different. Whereas I like DC, but DC is very much just we use this one number for everything, so it's a little bit easier, but it doesn't have as much character to it.
Yeah.
It's not the same personality. I
am disappointed at, like, the art for it.
Yeah, the art for Marvel, it's a little disappointing because every card, well, not every card, but most of the cards are the same. There's very limited art, but I've heard that the expansions really changed that up.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. The expansions, they have different art for each of the cards as well.
Right.
And then the other thing with the Legendary that's different than most of the other deck building games is that you're playing essentially as a team to defeat the villain.
I mean, it's kind of like that in a couple other games, but you're right. It does seem like you're trying to take down that master
It
villain.
fosters more teamwork than
Definitely,
any other
definitely.
deck building game I've played, which I've only played like 3.
Which is fun when you're playing the game, but ultimately, like, it was very easy for me to defeat you guys because I was like, I know I need to score a little bit more while you guys are trying to take down the villain. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it does. It's just a different kind of gameplay. I really liked it. It was different enough for me to enjoy both.
All I've got to say is those friggin' Doom bots.
Damn Doombots, man. Damn Doombots. So, while we're on the topic, Game of Thrones, the board game. Fans? Yes, I know you guys
Definitely,
play it
yes.
with me all the time.
Love it so much.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I'm ever going to switch away from the Baratheons.
Did you like playing the Baratheons this
Yeah.
time?
I dabbled in Baratheons
I played
a
Starks, and
little
I'm like, this is not fun.
Oh, I like the Starks. You rule the North. It's pretty easy to get early lead with the Starks. Now, if you can do an early alliance with the Greyjoys, you can kind of take on their territory. But the Greyjoys are really the most aggro of all of the groups.
You see, the thing is, you've got an unfair advantage. You don't have to play against you.
Hey, Jordan won one game.
I won a game.
Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, the Game of Thrones board game, of course, is based off the books and mostly the television show. I believe. I mean, most of the events are pretty similar in both, but it's similar to Risk or Monopoly, where you're trying to gain different ground. You're trying to conquer different lands to defeat your opponents. So the first person to 10 castles or 7 castles?
To 10.
I think it's 7 castles. Yeah, first one to 7 castles wins the game.
10 turns.
Yeah, or 10 turns. That's what it is, or 10 turns. And it's not just... It's actually probably more like Risk than Monopoly.
Yeah, but unlike Risk, it won't take you 3 days to play it.
No, because you don't have to conquer the world. You just conquer one continent. Each different player starts as a different house. Starks, Baratheons, Greyjoys, Martells,
Lannisters.
and you start in the respective areas of the map. So if you're the Starks, you start in the north. If you're the Baratheons, you start at King's Landing, and you slowly try to conquer the different ones. Combat is really well done. It's pretty balanced, I think. A lot of people feel Greyjoys are a little bit stronger because they have so much mobility with the boats.
Yeah, they can just charge in wherever the hell they feel like.
But I felt like you guys gave me a good run for my money when I played the Greyjoys.
Yeah.
But definitely a fun game. My biggest problem I have with it is it's the most fun with 6 players, which is kind of hard to wrangle. Especially with
people.
Well, that, and also it's such a long game. It's hard to go, hey, guys, don't worry, we're just going to quick game. You know, you can't do that with Game of Thrones.
No.
If you're going to get 6 people, it's got to be for the night.
It's like, all right, get your drinks, get your snacks, sit down. We're not moving.
Exactly, because it takes forever. If you have kids, if you have animals, you're not going to be able to balance that game very well.
No.
There's just too much going on. It does foster a really cool psychological game, like if you played Diplomacy. Have you guys ever played Diplomacy?
I haven't.
I haven't played it either.
It's very much a mind game. You're trying to group together with different countries and take it down almost like a UN summit, but
that'd be
in a
pretty
versus
sweet.
game. Yeah.
I feel like I'd be terrible, but I'd enjoy that.
You might be because you're too sincere.
Yeah.
Like you're too easy to go, hey, like I want this help, and people are like, is he playing? No, it's just Dave. He's definitely being serious. We can easily defeat him. we have a saying in the old country. He's so dumb you can easily take things away from him.
Sounds about right.
But
the one time I try to be a scumbag and I get burned on it so bad.
Well, I had to start a vendetta. You attacked me. That's never a good idea. We Starks are honorable people. But with Game of Thrones, like I said, it's very psychological. So you're going to either want to group up with somebody, or maybe you grouped up with them and then you want to switch alliances. You don't have to tell them. You just have to not support them in a combat. And you don't know who's supporting you until combat starts, and then you decide who you're supporting in that adjacent attack.
Yeah.
So it can switch on the drop of a hat,
There's a lot of deception that goes on.
There really is, and we call it ravens, is when we're texting each other mid game, which is completely allowed. So we send ravens, and everyone's texting. Sometimes you're fake texting. Sometimes you're just having a conversation, so people think you're in an alliance.
Yeah.
And it gets very stressful. That game really had me on the edge of my seat every single time.
It's a high octane thrill ride.
I mean, it kind of is. Like
the most intense cardboard game I've ever played.
I know. Like I've never felt so on edge while playing a fun board game with you guys. Just really with anybody. I mean, I've played sports and felt less tense.
Right?
Like it's like.
I mean, Ultimate Frisbee ain't got shit on this.
I love me some Ultimate Frisbee, but I was a big baseball player, and baseball, it's a long game. It's kind of drawn out, but there are times where you're three balls, two three balls, two strikes, and you're like just fucking on the edge of your seat. You're waiting for someone to hit you because I'm terrible, so I was trying to get walked. But in Game of Thrones, it's like that every single turn. And there's also some things that go on that aren't out of players' control, like the Wildling deck is something separate.
Yeah.
Each turn, you draw Westeros cards that do different things. Like you can each gain a unit, you can each gain power or influence, which is a currency in the game, or there are things like Wildlings attack. So depending on how many points the Wildling deck has, the Wildlings have a more severe attack, and you bid your power.
Harder to beat.
Exactly, and that can happen almost at any moment during that turn, it's just something that you can't account for necessarily, and what a lot of people don't account for.
Yeah.
So that's a really fun thing. It's really similar to the show. Is like there's this imminent threat that everyone's ignoring almost.
Then it'll be the one guy who has all the power will spend it, and then you'll be screwed.
You'll be screwed, and then the Wildlings will attack and tear your forces up.
Yep.
It's really good.
Every time I play, I always just acquire power, and everybody's like, "How the hell did you get all that power?"
Yeah, because you can instead of giving your units orders to march on different fields or defend or support other attacks, you can do what's called consolidate power, where they give you the power points, which are used as currency for bidding on being the Iron Throne or where you are in the King's Court. You use this to bid on things, and you can have your units give you this power instead of attacking. And you use that power to bid against the Wildlings and different things. And Jordan just seems to hoard all of it. We'll look over. We announce how much power you have before you start bidding on the throne and different things like that. And Jordan has 25 and we have 3. And he's like, I think I'm going to be king of Westeros. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm going to take the throne because I'm going to bid 15 here.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there in King's Rock going, how the hell did that happen?
Meanwhile, you're surrounded by all of our units.
3 armadas at my doorstep.
And I'm
Where
going to
the fuck
raid
was
your
I?
raid.
The other game that we play a lot is Catan. That was kind of a recent discovery for me. I never really played it before I started hanging out with you.
I never even heard of it before I moved down here.
Really? I had heard of it. It's a pretty popular game, but I don't know. Where does that stand for you, Jordan? Is that probably your favorite game?
It's one of my favorites. Like right now, it's probably between Catan and the Game of Thrones board game.
Has it gone down since A, you've lost to me at Catan finally, and B, we've started playing more Game of Thrones and you won a game of Game of Thrones?
Probably.
Was that the first time you've ever lost at Catan?
No, my friend Noah's actually probably the master of Catan, so every time I played with him, I've lost.
Okay,
But,
all right.
Yeah.
I really like Catan because it's easy. It kind of reminds me of, again, I'm going to come back to Monopoly. I always make you think of Monopoly because everyone knows Monopoly.
Everyone loves Monopoly.
It's just so simple. You get your piece, you roll your die, and you go around the board. Catan, in a similar fashion, you have your areas that you want to build. It's a very simple concept. Hey, you're trying to build a civilization, stop other people from building their civilization, and try to win. It's a pretty simple concept to get around.
If you're Jordan, have 12 night cards.
Not only that, just buying all of the...
Yeah, but who won with no night cards? Do you guys know his name?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
I think he was an asshole, wasn't he?
I had the longest road. Suck it. All right. 17 long. All right.
Just means your people have to walk farther.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that give you a point?
I won, Dave.
I don't care.
I didn't just get 1 point. I got 2 points. Right? Longest road.
I'm going to use my victory point card.
It's definitely come off the shelf a little bit more lately, just, on our game nights. Game of Thrones is always a quick one. We've been playing a lot of Munchkin.
Yeah, we still need to crack open that the number
Munchkin
2
expansion 2.
pack.
I'm really excited for the steampunk Munchkin.
Yeah, I need to
I've been
get
seeing
that really quick.
comics.
Yeah, I've been seeing the ad. I don't know what any of the cards are, so I'm really
Yeah, I don't
excited.
know
I know nothing about it. It's kind of like how I am with Star Wars. I'm super excited, and I've avoided all spoilers for it,
That childlike wonderment.
except for the new poster that
I didn't
the
see
old
that.
artist did. I don't want to spoil it for you if you've been avoiding things. I mean, it's a poster.
It's a poster.
I've avoided all trailers, but it showed Finn's character. I think it's John Boyega,
Okay.
the guy who used to be a stormtrooper. He had a lightsaber on it.
Well, I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen.
It looked like Luke's old lightsaber, the one he lost when Darth cut his hand off. It looked like that lightsaber.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I think that's like a crutch of the movie is about that, because in the first teaser, I remember somebody handing a lightsaber and it looked like his original lightsaber.
Or was it just Luke's severed hand floating in space?
That's the thing too. That's been
Yeah.
floating around as rumors for
Yeah,
years.
Floating around.
Yeah, yeah, you see, I did that. But it was someone handing a lightsaber, and I think that might be a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I did see again something. I've been doing a really poor job at avoiding all these things. But I saw a picture of Luke in his Jedi robes. Have you guys seen this
yeah,
picture?
I saw that.
It was quickly
that-
taken down.
That
It
was out a
leaked.
while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a leaked photo. It's not official.
Yeah.
Somebody just on set. And even though he looks pissed that someone took a picture, I'm so glad they did, because he looks awesome.
Yes.
I've never seen Mark Hamill look so buff. Like he's older now, but he looks good.
Yeah,
like
Like in
Looks
some
like
of
a
the
fucking
pictures
Jedi Master.
Of him, like just personally lately, he doesn't look. I mean, he doesn't look bad. He just doesn't really look. He doesn't really look like himself normally. But,
no, he looks so good in it.
but
and
yeah, on the set, he looks
right.
great.
Yeah, he looks like pretty much like an Obi-Wan character. You know what I mean? Like he really pulls off that Jedi robe, that older master look. I have been hearing rumors lately that people think he might be the antagonist of this trilogy. What do you guys think about that? Any merit to it, or would you be okay with that? What do you think of that?
Wait, so you're saying is Wolverine had bone claws?
Along those lines, yeah. See, the rumor that is going around right now is that Kylo Ren is actually his apprentice,
Oh shit!
and they're on the dark side together. And that's where Han and Chewie are trying to hunt down Luke.
That's
Oh.
interesting.
It's interesting. I don't think it's actually a story, but I almost want that story now.
That would definitely be an interesting
That's-
twist on that.
I know, right? What do you think
I'm
of that?
all for a hero's fall from
I
grace.
mean,
right?
honestly, I'm just gonna have to wait and see. I don't have a major opinion on it, but
Luke's
I mean-
such the paragon of that world. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He was untouched by evil, even when he had to fight his father, and when he touched the dark side, on Dagobah, he still was like the beacon of hope. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Whereas Anakin was like the downfall of the Jedi race.
but
you
he's
see
still
it
the
throughout
chosen
his whole
one.
life,
right.
Him turning to the dark side.
Yeah. So like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy with him.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to be like my father. I don't want to be like my father. Well, he made some good points.
Yeah, there were a few things he did right.
The
yeah.
apple does not fall far from the tree.
Yeah,
They-
I don't know.
They both have lost extremities.
Yeah. Well, they all have. I mean, that's Star Wars. It's not Star Wars unless someone's limbs are getting cut off and being replaced by robotic prosthetics.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. It's a good theory. It's similar to the Joker one that was going around a couple months back about Joker being Jason Todd in the
Yes,
new movie.
that
Mhm.
I would love for that to be.
See, I
real.
don't say potential spoilers before this stuff because it's almost guaranteed not to be true.
Yeah, it's hearsay.
It's so out there. But when I hear these rumors, even though I'm like, that's definitely not going to happen,
It makes total sense.
it makes total sense. And also, it's like, that might be a more interesting story than what they're telling.
yeah, I mean, like just like the graffiti on the Robin costume.
Yeah.
I was like, how is this not a thing?
Yeah, no, it
just
makes sense.
yeah.
If it's not a story now, somebody write that story.
Yes,
is where I get
please.
with it, Like, I want to read some fan theory where Luke goes to the dark side now because that just sounds fascinating to me. And the other thing I'm a little bit worried, and I try not to be because I love J.J. Abrams. Almost everything he does is awesome. I wasn't a big fan of, was it not Section 8? What was that?
Super 8.
Super 8. I wasn't a big fan of Super 8.
It
Yeah, that one was
interesting, but
okay.
It seemed like he was just trying to make a movie for Spielberg. You know what I
it,
mean?
Yeah.
It seemed very like new agey ET-ish.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely going for that. It just didn't have the same magic. And
Yeah.
even, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of E.T.
They just walkie talkies, man.
It's just a very okay film. Other than that, I love everything J.J. Abrams touches. Even Star Trek 2. I love Star Trek 2.
Oh, definitely.
Honestly, I thought that was a more faithful adaptation of the original series than one. One almost seemed like they were trying to do Star Wars.
Yeah, like
Add the action, which was good. I mean, he brought Star Trek to a new generation that would have never even touched it.
oh hell yeah.
But it still didn't have the same feeling of you watch those original series because it was almost not psychedelic. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but it was more of a thinking man's show. It wasn't Kirk fighting off aliens every week. A lot of it was just him sitting on the bridge figuring out how to outsmart the antagonist.
Yeah, like it was a mental war.
It was a mental war, exactly, and that's where I almost psychological was what I was thinking of. That's where I liked about 2 was that second half of the film when he's there and he's facing against Benedict Cumberbatch. It really felt like a war of minds rather than, hey, Kirk's gonna double punch this guy in the chest.
Yeah.
He's gonna make some gunpowder out of the stuff he found on the planet.
And then Spock comes in with the Kirk.
Yeah.
That was
There's always
awesome.
something. Anytime the name Benedict Cumberbatch gets mentioned, I just smile.
Oh, are you excited for him to be Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange is gonna.
Oh
be
my God,
I'm just so pumped.
I'm more
for it.
excited for that than I am for Civil War.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I'm
really-
I don't know. I'm
evenly
pretty excited
excited.
for Civil War.
like don't get me wrong. I'm super excited for Civil War.
Right.
Doctor Strange. Fucking Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor Strange, and I am excited for him, especially just for his comeback in comics too. Just that character to come back.
Yes, I'm so pumped. When does that come out? October?
October, yeah. He's been
Yes.
such a tertiary character in the last couple of years. Now with Secret Wars, he's been a little bit more of a main character and brought more to the forefront. Even with the before Secret Wars, all the Last Days stuff, he was a major role in a lot of it. But in the last couple of years, if it wasn't about the Defenders, Doctor Strange was kind of in the background. And even for a little while there, I mean, he was dead and he was replaced by Dr. Voodoo or Mr. Voodoo. That guy's the guy who became Sorcerer Supreme.
All right.
So Doctor Strange wasn't even around. So for him to come back in the comics and get his own title for the first time in a long time, in a anticipated title, it looks like it's going to be really good.
Oh hell yeah.
And they gave him an axe. Doctor Strange with a fucking axe is going to be awesome.
I mean, he's like had mystic weapons for a while. I've seen him with swords on multiple occasions, but I mean, a fucking axe.
Right? For a little while there when they were talking about trying to get Jared Leto for Doctor Strange, I was excited. I was like, he could do a good Doctor Strange. Then he got cast as Joker. I'm like, that's perfect. And then Benedict Cumberbatch, come on.
Yeah, I don't think I could have heard any better news.
I mean,
than
there was that
both of
rumor
those
with
castings.
Joaquin Phoenix where I was like, you know what? I could
Like,
see
I don't
that.
think it wasn't even a rumor. They were pursuing him. I
Yeah, they
think
were
he could have did a
talking
good
to him
job.
about it and everything.
But they had the same problem with Joaquin Phoenix as they had with Edward Norton being the Hulk. Is even he didn't do anything wrong. It was just there's a lot of talk in Hollywood about them being not team players.
Yeah.
So in an ensemble piece, which he would eventually be in, there's some worry there. And also Joaquin Phoenix was worried about his own career having to sign up for so many movies.
Right.
Was the rumors going? It's not like I talked to the guy. I didn't sit
Yeah.
down with him, but that was what a lot of the talk was that I read. And I can see that. He plays in a lot of different roles.
Right, where Benedict Cumberbatch is always in
Very similar,
roles
almost
where
typecast,
Right, like in the TV shows like Sherlock, he's consistently in that show.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, that's what kind of bummed me out with Iron Man 2 is like in Iron Man 1, the guy who played Rhodey. I
Yeah.
can't remember his name.
I'll look it up. But yeah, I
Yeah.
know who you're talking about.
Newer guy Don Cheadle is.
Yeah, but like when they switched him out, I was disappointed. But I mean, I'm satisfied with Don Cheadle now.
Oh, I think Don Cheadle is really, really good.
Yeah.
For that role. The only problem I have with Don Cheadle is similar to the problem I have with Tony Stark is he's a little old for the role.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the comics work is when Tony Stark kind of stepped down into the background for Iron Man, Rhodey stepped up.
Yeah.
And Don Cheadle, I don't know if I'm getting this correct, but isn't he older than Robert Downey Jr.?
I'm not
I mean,
sure.
I could believe it.
I mean, he could be 90 and he looks great for his age. I just worry, like, is he going to want to be an action hero? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everyone's Liam Neeson. Not everybody can start
But
their action career in their
I
50s.
like the dynamic they've got going now because like they're both like veterans.
Oh,
in
definitely.
this
No,
whole
they're
superhero battle.
Yeah, they're very awesome. I'm excited to see his interplay in Captain America: Civil War.
Oh, definitely.
Because I loved in Ultron him showing up and interacting with the more fantastical characters. Him talking with Thor and how they're not impressed with his tank story. I
Yeah.
love that little bit because he thinks he's this awesome hero and he's like, but you're not an Avenger. And now he
Right.
is an Avenger. I want to see that interplay.
Ultron, we would have words with thee.
I'm really disappointed that wasn't in there. That's
Right?
my favorite line from that comic. That was from the original Ultron story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that line. That little disappointment there. And a lot of people, like you were one, you had a little bit of a problem with Ultron.
I just I mean, it fit, I guess, with the whole Tony Stark.
Him being
thing.
Tony, he was
I
Tony
just-
Stark.
It was
That was my problem. Basically, was that it's Tony Stark's creation. I would have
rather than Hank Pym.
Right, because the Ultron I know is a very dark.
Yeah, it was a different Ultron altogether.
Right.
Terrence Howard.
All right.
That was who played Rhodey originally. I apologize.
Yeah, but yeah, like with Hank Pym, his dark side is so dark that Ultron is the perfect
He's so
Ultron.
he's so evil, and that's the problem I can see with that. Number one, Hank Pym wasn't being used in this film; he was being used elsewhere, which is fine. I thought he was great in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was
did too.
fantastic.
The problem is Tony Stark's character, Robert Downey Jr., is the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
The cinematic universe rather, and having another Tony Stark essentially in the world, even if it was only for one movie, it's almost hard to pass up. You know what I mean? And it gives us something to guess about, because if it was Hank Pym's Ultron, you would know beat for beat what was going to happen.
That's true, but I would have been a lot more intimidated by Ultron.
I still really don't understand his sudden magnetic powers and the
No, I
chase.
have no idea what was happening in that chase scene.
Yeah.
Were they in China?
I don't remember. Japan.
They were in Japan?
I believe so.
Okay, I just remember them being overseas, and that chase where he has the Mack truck and
Yeah, and he's just moves
his essential
arm up, and then,
AI was
a
chasing
pipe
him.
comes up out of the thing and fucks up the
It
motorcycle.
reminded me of what's happening in the new. Don't take me. I'm not comparing the new Fantastic Four movie to the Ultron movie, because they are leagues apart. Trust me.
Oh, definitely.
But near the end of the movie, Doom just starts scanning people, like scanners where they blow up the heads. He starts doing that to people. I'm like, what power is that? What ability is this that he can just blow up people's minds? Like, that's not a superpower that he has.
I think he got it from Fox.
Maybe. Fox is just granting superpowers. Kind of like Deadpool. He just not has laser
Well, I
vision.
mean, look what they did to Fox News. They're blowing people's minds apart every day.
That was terrible. Go sit in the corner.
But it's true.
But with that Ultron thing, I don't know where those powers came from. And it doesn't mean, I just might not understand it. Somebody else might understand what was happening. I was just a little bit lost.
Yeah, same here. But I'm always lost. So.
Speaking, since we were talking about that, anybody else gonna go see the Fantastic Four?
I don't know.
I'm very against giving them money for it.
That's my thing too. Is I'm probably gonna wait till it comes
Just
out.
give it
and
back
I'll
to
watch
Marvel.
it
Right.
eventually.
Like, I'd rather rent it. I don't. It's not even just like I want it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I do. But I feel like Fantastic Four has missed the ship. If they were to add Fantastic Four in Phase 3,
it would have needed to have been there
or Phase 4
from
rather,
the beginning.
it really would, because they're the first family. That's
Exactly.
they don't exist in the same light with the newer heroes. They're always the golden age. They're always the paradigm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, they are, the Marvel Universe when it comes to the original comics. They introducing characters like Spider-Man. I mean, it wasn't his first appearance, but, just bringing them into the forefront. I don't see them working the same way in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, being the last ones added.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
especially with Civil War, like they play a huge.
they're
part
such
in
a
Civil
they play.
War.
That's the thing a lot of people don't realize, because a lot of younger people and a lot of people who don't read comics don't know the Fantastic Four, because all we've had is the exposure from the movies. They even had a show really in the last
They're
couple
like,
of
"Isn't
years.
that Jessica Alba.
Exactly. So they don't realize. Whereas you read the comics, they're in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Reed, Franklin, Sue, the Thing.
The Thing is in. I love
Ben
the Thing.
Ben Grimm is one of the best characters. My favorite shirt is the cover of The Thing #1 where they're playing poker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that was kind of a shitty series, but I just love that cover. But they're so ingrained in that universe, even with Secret Wars. Secret Wars is essentially the end of the Fantastic Four. It's basically their
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
It really is. No spoilers for anything, but their main, even if they're not on screen, it's about them.
Yep.
That story really is about them. And for them not to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, number one, like, it feels wrong, but for them to come back later on, I don't know if it'd be as good.
It wouldn't really work out.
They'd almost have to do the Ultimate version, and the Ultimate version's not very good, I feel like it's a really good Reed story, the Ultimate Universe, like how that's kind of also ending in Secret Wars is
Yeah.
neat. But like the Doom of the Ultimate Universe, I don't like. He gets his
Yeah.
powers with them, and the whole point of Doom is that he's a sorcerer while being one of the best minds in the world. He can be on par with Doctor Strange and Reed Richards. He's a perfect villain for both.
Yeah.
And that's where Hollywood gets him wrong every single time.
Yeah.
I don't even think they've messed up that bad. I mean, like, I wasn't a huge fan of the older ones from the 2000s, or
I
even
wasn't
the
either.
Roger. Is it Roger Cormac or Ryan Cormack. The really old one they made just to cash in. They never actually produced it. It never came out.
I don't know much.
You don't know?
about it.
It's worth a watch. It's on YouTube. They've released it on YouTube. It's really
Huh.
shitty. It's really
I'll have
shitty
to
quality,
look at
but honestly, I think they get the characters a little bit better.
Hmm.
But I would check it out. But I don't think they could fit in very well with the new phase.
Yeah, I really don't see that working out.
And I mean, this is all conjecture. They're probably not even coming. Fox hasn't said anything about them backing off from another sequel, which right now is probably just saving face. They still have to sell this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're honestly Fox is doing okay right now with everything else that they're doing. It's not like Sony.
Oh no,
that's-
they're not hurting.
Right.
No.
Like Sony was struggling with all the money they've lost with Spider-Man. They're not really putting much else out there other than the James Bond movies.
Right, exactly. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, Fox is not hurting for money the same way that Sony was. And also, like I said, right now they're trying to sell this. Even if this is a loss, they did it before. They're just trying to cash and keep the license. They have it.
Right. They don't have to do a sequel.
I think it's another 7 years before they would have to do another one. So why sell it?
It's in the bank.
And if honestly, I mean, Marvel's owned by Disney. Disney has all of the money. If Disney wanted, they could pay them for it, but they don't need it.
Mm-mm.
Why would you shell out for this property that almost no one knows about, other
Right.
than the comic book viewers who want it, but we're not hurting for it? Honestly, I'm like, I was excited for a new Fantastic Four, but I'm not hurt that it's not in the cinematic universe
There's
right now.
better stories that they could play out in this universe.
I mean, just look at Ant-Man. Even if Ant-Man wasn't a runaway success, it was still an awesome movie. And who would have thought we would have got an Ant-Man movie?
right?
Exactly.
I mean, like when I first heard about it, I was like, what?
This is Fox's third try at a Fantastic Four movie, and it was shit. And I can say, I hate judging something I haven't seen, but it's shit. I don't even have to see it. I know from a lot of people that have very similar tastes to me that the first half of the movie is pretty good, and they were trying to do something different. But the second half is really bad. Not often, like, because people know that I like everything. I'm a pretty optimistic viewer. Not often do people tell me not to see something. This is the first superhero movie in so long, probably since the last Fantastic Four movie,
Yeah.
that people have told me not to see. Like, people are actively coming up to me, they're like, "Don't see this movie. Don't waste your money." So I'm not going to waste my money. I'm not going to see it. I'm okay with not seeing it. I don't feel like I'm missing out.
I mean, I'll watch it when it comes out on
Will you?
DVD. But
Well, when you buy it, you bring it over, and I don't have to pay for it.
Okay.
And I don't feel like Fox has my money.
Maybe they'll put it on
maybe I'll
Netflix.
make my dad pay for it.
If they put it on Netflix, I might just quit my Netflix. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be a viable option
Cancel
too.
subscription.
I don't know. I might check it out.
Yeah, one thing that I'm really excited for with Fox is Deadpool. That's definitely.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for Deadpool. Now, Deadpool is silly fun. It's not highbrow comedy. You know, you don't have to
No,
read into it. It's not like
Everybody's favorite anti-hero.
right, exactly. He's not making super big references. He's just having fun.
I just love the trailer when they had the music playing. X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
That was
Played some
fantastic.
DMX and they played Shoop, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome.
I'm gonna shoot, baby.
And it really seems like Fox is cutting loose with this title.
Oh yeah.
Now, Fox
they
is
just,
always-
like don't give a shit.
They've played fast and loose with their continuity always. They don't care, and why should they? People are still going to watch their movies, and they're making good movies. The only one I've ever had a problem with was Last Stand and The Wolverine. The rest of them are pretty good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's still a pretty good batting average.
I don't know. I really liked the Wolverine.
No, not. I'm sorry, not the Wolverine. Wolverine Origins.
Origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was.
I was
I
gonna say,
love the Wolverine.
That was honestly, out of all the X-Men movies, probably the most accurate towards.
except for them ruining Silver Samurai
That's true.
and with the giant Gundam robot for some dumb
Yeah.
reason.
well, I mean,
But other than that, like.
I'm okay
throughout
with a
the whole
giant
movie-
Gundam robot.
I'm not. Silver Samurai is a really good character, though. I mean,
could
that was
believe
kind of a
that.
waste. The other thing I didn't like is you have 1,000 ninja. Why are they just shooting them with poison arrows? Let Wolverine fight ninjas. That is box office gold. Why wouldn't you just let him fight them?
Yeah, that is a weird choice.
I just thought that was so silly. Like you have all these ninjas on screen. I'm like, oh my god, Wolverine's gonna fight ninjas. I've been waiting for this day since they announced an X-Men movie, and then no, we're just gonna shoot him. What is this shit? Poison arrows? God damn it. So that was a little bit disappointing. But other than that, I really like that movie. Him tracking for the first time in an X-Men movie. Like, why did it wait so long?
Yeah.
That was kind of like in Dark Knight Rises when they finally have Batman on rooftops. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I mean, in Batman Begins, he hung like one cot from it, and that was it. But he was finally jumping over rooftops. I'm like, finally, you know?
Thank God.
In the third fucking movie. But I am still excited for Deadpool. It seems like they're having fun. They're introducing characters they've already introduced before. They don't care. Colossus is going to be in this. I don't think it's the same actor. I think it's someone different.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a different take on him. They had Negasonic Teenage Warhead wearing the X-Men blue and yellow, the modern blue and yellow, which is really neat. It looked awesome. If they do, they're doing Age of Apocalypse. I don't know if they're doing those costumes though.
They haven't revealed what the costumes actually look like. They just show the pods where the costumes
Right,
are
right.
with different costumes.
I hope they go with the
essentially.
blue and yellow. I
Yeah.
thought that looked really cool. I liked how they did it in First Class. I thought that was really sweet.
Now, you mentioned a character, this Teenage Warhead thing.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
What the hell is that?
She is the shit.
Is that like a lizard?
Yeah, right. It's a giant octopus.
Oh, okay. Vesuvius.
Vesuvius. So we were watching that movie The Rocker, and the name of the character's band in the movie is called Vesuvius. And me being super dumb, I was like, what is Vesuvius? Is that like a giant squid or something? And it was the first, and I'm not the smartest one out of all of our friends. That's people listening can obviously pick that out about me. But I wouldn't say that I'm super dumb, but that was the dumbest thing I've ever said.
And then me, instantly, I'm like, no, it's a. I can't think of the word. I was gonna say mountain, but I know that's not fucking it. I could not think of the word volcano. Fucking volcano.
Yeah, it just proves our intelligence. Why we have a podcast about talking about comic books rather than quantum theory or.
Because the shit spewing from our mouths needs to be heard.
Oh, definitely. I apologize for anybody who found this podcast for any reason. I'm excited you're listening, but I'm sorry that you're listening. But yes, in conclusion, Deadpool, yay.
Yay.
Fantastic Four, nay.
Nay.
Keeping on the superhero front, everybody excited Arrow and Flash coming back?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
excited?
I still actually need to watch season 3 of Arrow and season 1 of Flash.
You haven't seen Flash?
Nope.
You're wearing a Flash t-shirt.
I am.
How does that make any sense? How can you be a Flash fan? You haven't seen Flash.
I'm just not fast enough.
It's his first
it's
live-action
Dave
appearance
we're
since the
talking
90s.
Sorry.
I need to take something from you. Give me your glasses.
No, I need those.
You don't deserve to see right now. You haven't seen The Flash. Well, you should watch The Flash. It's amazing.
I will. I've got to get through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2 right now.
It's a completely different universe.
I don't care. It's what I'm focused on. If I get too distracted, I'm like a bird. Just shiny. What's
So
that?
no spoilers for season 2 of S.H.I.E.L.D., but are you excited about Secret Warriors?
Secret Warriors, I'm so
Oh,
excited.
I'm
for
so
it.
excited for Secret Warriors. You know the Secret Warriors?
No.
You don't know Secret Warriors?
Nope.
God, read some more comics.
Trying to.
Is Daisy a mutant or an inhuman in the comics? Or is she just kind of like a metahuman? Does she just have powers?
I think that was the original idea, but I don't know if that's what they're actually going for.
I know she's just supposed to be Inhumans in this universe,
Right.
but I'm still just excited that she's going by Daisy now.
Mm-hmm.
That is super exciting. The fact that they're doing Secret Warriors on television, like,
Yeah.
who would have saw that coming? That is so neat. Finally, you see S.H.I.E.L.D. embracing powers, which is really cool, other than just the Index.
Exactly.
Like, that's going to be super exciting. It's the same front with Arrow and Flash introducing the magic in the world. Constantine's showing up for an episode. No spoilers there for Arrow. Yeah, no, no spoilers for Arrow, but Constantine is coming back for one episode and doing his Constantine thing, which is awesome. So that series is going to cross over, even though Constantine's been tragically canceled and he's only showing up for one episode. It's still neat that they're, essentially expanding that universe even more. And then later on, halfway through that season, Heroes of Tomorrow.
We'll see.
I'm excited that the Atom is essentially getting his own show.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm a little bit weary on having Captain Cold and Heatwave as main characters.
Yeah, that does seem like an odd choice. I mean, like, I haven't seen them in the show, but just knowing what little I do know about them, like,
They really chew up the scenery in a good way. They ham it up, but it's so good. Like, it's so fun to see him interact with them. And they still have the same kind of status quo as they do in the comics, like, I don't kill, and, he kind of lets him operate. It's really cool the way they're building up that.
Huh.
I'm excited to see him more in Flash than him being on another show.
Yeah.
I really feel like they just didn't have other characters to throw in.
Yeah.
Like, he was a fan favorite from Flash. So
Do they
there's
have Mirror Master?
they've teased him for season 2 of Flash, but they don't. They have Pied Piper.
Don't know who that is.
You know Pied Piper? One of the few out of the closet characters for DC. He can control people with magical. It's not magical. It's engineered music.
They might have actually had him in one of the We Are Robin
comics that I read.
Yeah, I don't mean to, and so I always forget that you're kind of new to comics. Like
Yeah.
you've only started reading the last couple of years.
I'm dipping my toes in that.
Right? No, I feel bad. Someone's like, you don't know this, but like, of course you don't know this. You're still very new to it, you know.
Yeah, but I'm diving in.
Yeah, definitely head first. And it's so easy. It's so easy to be a fan nowadays because you have shows, you have television. At the same time, it's probably a little bit confusing because it's all different universes and
There's so much going on in every different
Exactly.
comic. There's
always something rebooting, always something changing. I'm sure it gets a little bit frustrating once in a while. Daredevil. You watched Daredevil?
Oh, Daredevil's really good.
Okay, you've seen
Loved it,
Daredevil.
yeah.
Do you think he's going to show up in Civil War?
I hope so.
I know we
There's
talked about
rumors.
this a little bit.
I would really love that just because.
It would make me very happy.
When they interviewed him, when they interviewed the guy who played Daredevil, he said that he wasn't asked to be in the movie. Now, do you think that's just
Red herring?
Yeah, red herring. You know, pushing us down the wrong path.
I mean, I can
Potentially.
hope that.
I know this is apples and oranges, but I mean they're having they just signed Spider-Man. They just picked up Tom Holland, and he's already been shot for the film.
Mhm.
Now Civil War's done shooting. Daredevil shot last year. I mean, you gotta think that they threw something in there, right? At least a nod.
Some sort of cameo
I
or
hope so.
something.
It's street level characters in New York. I mean, I know Luke Cage isn't established yet, and neither is Jessica Jones, but they're huge players in
Like,
Civil War.
Like maybe even like just a scene of Daredevil sitting back on like, holy shit, this is some weird
Right.
stuff
I
going
mean,
on.
that's one of my favorite panels of all time is when Galactus is attacking the city and Spider-Man and Daredevil are just going, well, we can't help, and they're just sitting there chilling.
Yep.
Well, Spider-Man, we'll let them handle
Yeah,
it.
we'll check this out from here.
I mean, I've got a Billy Club. You've got Webs.
yeah. What? You want to watch a movie? I mean, it's not the same thing as Fantastic Four, where yes, they're huge players in Civil War, but they're not in this universe. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, they're all characters that exist in this
It's
world.
almost like they're all part of the Defenders.
To be fair, the Defenders in the comics are more like Hulk, Stephen Strange, that.
Yeah.
But still, it's still going to be a cool version of it. But I know I just want everything. I'm very greedy when it comes to this thing. I really wish they were in Civil War.
That's why, like, before they announced Spider-Man, I really, really, really wanted him in Civil War because he plays
He plays a huge role in that.
almost bigger role than Captain America. and Iron
Honestly,
Man.
yeah, I mean,
like, people will probably argue with me about this for days.
well,
and
see, the thing
people
is,
have.
the story wasn't centered around him, but he stole the show.
Exactly, like
Him revealing his identity was the mainstay of the Civil War for me. It was what
too.
got me into the rest of the series. Because I was reading Spider-Man. I wasn't reading Civil War. I was reading Spider-Man.
And then his tie-ins to
And then his
Civil War.
tie-in to Civil War, I was like, I should read the rest of this. That's when I picked up Wolverine. That's when I picked up New Warriors. That's when I picked up Luke Cage. That's when I picked up like the main Civil War. He got me into it. And so it could be just me being biased. I love Peter Parker. But that story really felt like the heart of it. Now, the break between Captain America and Tony Stark is a central part. And this is a
Right.
Captain America movie. A lot of people forget that.
Yeah.
Me especially. This isn't Civil War. This is
It's
Captain
not
America
Avengers,
Civil War.
It's not.
Exactly. Which I think Avengers Civil War would have been a good movie. But
right.
they
So
got the
it's
Infinity
kind of-
Yeah,
Wars
like
going
I
on.
was
The amount
talking
of-
to my friend Levi, and he kept thinking that Civil War was like going to be the end of Phase 3, and it's like, no, that's
No,
just
that's the
beginning.
start of that's
Yeah.
the start of Phase 3. That's not even
Yeah, he thought Civil War was going to be Avengers 3.
right. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say that. I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
It's okay. We interrupt a lot, and we apologize.
It's
You know,
all right.
we invite you onto our show. We talk about comic books, then we tell you to shut the hell up and let us talk.
guys.
Speaking of guests, do you want something else to drink?
I'm good now.
Good, because I don't want to get you anything. I'm running low on my vanilla Coke as is. In our awesome new Loot Crate mugs, we talked about it last time. I finally got my Loot Crate. Dave has the Venom. I have the Carnage. Awesome cups. If you guys haven't seen these, Google them. Buy them on eBay. I've already seen like 4 listed for way too much money, but pay it. They're awesome.
They're so amazing.
And like there's a couple of little like I don't even know what the word would be. Not inaccuracies, blemishes.
Imperfections.
Yeah, imperfections. So like it's definitely you can tell that these were handmade.
Yeah, definitely, and it just looks amazing.
It's making my vanilla Coke taste even better.
Oh, definitely.
So we're gonna segue a little bit because I could talk about Civil War all day, but since there's not a lot of news, it's just conjecture, just us rambling on. Before I do, no, we just say we're gonna go on. I want to talk about one more thing. They showed footage at D23. Did you guys have you guys seen this yet? I haven't
For
seen
this
it.
No,
Civil
I haven't
War?
seen
Yeah.
the footage.
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah,
Bad, Jordan. Is leaked footage.
that's fine.
Black Panther popping his claws,
Yep.
and is it not Red Wing? Is that what Falcon's called?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what it was called either. But his bird sidekick is mechanical now, right?
Yeah.
How was that? Well, I'll say Black Panther. How was?
I mean, I only watched like a really bad quality version of it, so
Right.
I didn't get a close up.
Right, I'm waiting. I'm excited to actually see that trailer, but
Yeah.
I'm just excited that they have that. Like,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I totally forgot about that he had a bird sidekick.
Honestly,
but
I
now as soon as you mentioned it, it popped into my head that I've seen it in the animated.
I'm
Avengers
so
cartoon
excited
was
that
really
they
bad.
have Falcon in such a big role in the
Yeah.
world because I mean he's Captain America now in the comics. We have an African American Captain America and he's awesome. Have you read Captain America Sam Wilson?
Yeah.
He's so good, and that he might take over in the movies is really neat. And you
Honestly,
got Bucky Barnes back now.
I really want Bucky Barnes to take over as Captain America because I love.
I mean,
Like,
and they both have. They both have
they
Don.
have. And that's the way that it happens after
After
the
Civil
initial
War,
Civil
yeah.
War
Exactly.
story.
Yeah, so potential spoilers for the comics, but yeah, Bucky Barnes does take over the mantle of Captain America. The other thing, so they showed Black Panther popping his claws. What'd you think of that?
That was pretty awesome. Like, I'm excited for Black Panther.
I'm so excited for Black Panther. That looks so cool. Even like the crappy footage that I saw some like pictures of like him shooting and there was like the stunt double costume. A lot of people are like, oh, it looks terrible. I'm like, that looks awesome on its own without any effects and it's just Black Panther.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we'd get a Black Panther movie?
I didn't expect it, and I'm super excited. In the Civil War comics, it was reading the Black Panther comics. The tie-ins with it was one of my favorite parts when him and Storm get married.
Yeah. Oh God, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
I forgot about
That
that.
doesn't last very long, but
It
it's still really neat.
doesn't, but it was really cool the way like they work together,
Yeah.
trying to help out.
It's just everything.
Yeah.
It's so neat to see a lot of the like diverse characters getting some spotlight. So it's not like so like whitewashed and everything. You know, you
Yeah.
got Captain America, Tony Stark, Thor. Like Thor's the most white you can get. You have a Norse god. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything whiter than that? It's just cool to see a lot of these other characters get play. You know, just these smaller characters. Like I said, like who would have thought we'd get an Ant-Man movie?
Right.
It's just exciting to see that. Segueing a little bit away from the superhero stuff, I do want to talk about Metal Gear because Metal Gear 5 is dropping September 1st. You excited about Metal Gear 5?
I am excited about Metal
You
Gear
gonna buy
5.
it? You gonna buy Metal Gear 5?
I don't have the money, but I'm gonna buy it.
You're gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
The American way.
I haven't seen that one go on sale yet.
I haven't yet either. And
Green Man Gaming had Mad Max on sale for $36. Another one that's dropping September
yeah,
1st.
it's 50% off right now.
I'm excited. I didn't want to play it on PC just because my PC isn't a super big gaming rig. But I mean, that's a good price. I might be able to afford to get both if I buy it on PC. You said you're not a huge fan of Metal Gear. Have you played any of them?
The only one I've played was Snake Eater. That's number
That's
3.
my favorite.
And
That's my
honestly,
favorite, too.
I couldn't get interested.
Wasn't
in it.
for you?
No.
So that was my first Metal Gear I ever played. I never played any of the other ones, and I've played them since. I've played
Right.
1 and 2, and Snake Eater, and the crappy acid games for PSP. I played Peace Walker, which is the amazing one for PSP. And
Metal Gear Acid, I think, was the crappy one you're thinking of.
Yeah, so I said Metal Gear Acid.
Okay.
And then I played Peace Walker, which was the good one for PSP.
Yeah.
Which actually, Peace Walker is a lot of people's favorite game out of the Metal Gear.
one.
Really? It's essentially a sequel to Snake Eater, and basically a prequel to Metal Gear 5. What happens is Snake hears Big Boss's voice and thinks that she might be alive, and he goes after her.
Okay.
And it turns out, spoilers for Peace Walker, it turns out not to be her voice. It's actually an AI voice imitating her for the Peace Walker Metal Gear.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really, really good. That's where like a lot of these functions are coming from, like the mother base function. Have you heard about that from Metal Gear 5?
Yeah.
Fultoning people out and adding them to your base. That started in Peace Walker.
Okay.
Yeah. So it takes place in that era from Snake Eater, and you have the prosthetic limb, but really, I'm not even that excited for the story. I like Big Boss, but I'm more of a Solid Snake fan. 1 and 2. Snake Eater's my favorite game, but Big Boss is just annoying. You know, with his eye patch, thinking he's better than everybody else, not aging super fast because he's not a clone. Not about that. Gotta have my super old Solid Snake. No one knows what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
from Metal Gear 4. I wish I could explain Metal Gear to you. It's so convoluted. It's like an anime.
It's hard to explain.
It really is. There's clones. It's like Clone Saga from Spider-Man
Oh boy,
mixed into the Cold War.
we're in for a treat.
That Clone Saga gets really confusing.
God, it really does. And I love Ben Reilly. I love Solid Snake. I don't know what's with me in clones, but I love him.
I love them too, but I still love the original.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm super excited for Metal Gear 5 again. I'm not super excited for the story, but the gameplay just looks amazing.
Mhm.
You have this open world, and the big thing that, well, at least for me, is that your base matters. Capturing these people, capturing these supplies, and giving them to your base inflicts what you do into the game. It really affects it. Because you can't get better weapons without getting more engineers to basically R&D this new stuff. You can't just, I found this better rifle. You have to get them to develop it for you. And they don't have enough manpower, they can't develop it for you. And if you get those people, you don't have to get supplies for those people. So you have to steal supply trucks. And eventually you're just getting to the point where you're Fultoning everything back. You're stealing bears, you're stealing trucks, you're riding on the side of horses while they poop. This game is very intensive. I was super excited for Mad Max. I still am. But
I'm
I
excited
feel like
for it,
Metal
too.
Gear is stealing the thunder.
Yeah. I'm excited for Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is still so far away. Don't
I
even get me
know.
on Fallout 4. I'm excited for Fallout 4, but that's going to be another battle because you got Tomb Raider coming out the same day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Same
they should
day.
definitely push that back. Uncharted's coming out. I can't even go there. There's just too much going out for there. For right now, it's the Mad Max versus Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear with population is going to win.
Yeah.
Way more people are going to buy Metal Gear. I feel like it was a really stupid idea for them to come out at the same day as Mad Max. I mean, Mad Max could come out the same day as Metal Gear. I feel like they really should have got out of the way.
Probably.
They'll still make their money though especially because of how the movie turned out. and
Especially
everything.
the Blu-ray just came out. It is good timing there, which is what they were going for. But man, the Metal Gear audience is a similar audience. It's not post-apocalyptic, but you're still in an open desert. Developing things. Kind of how the Mad Max gameplay is different. It's gonna get to a different audience, but there's a lot of crossover there.
Mhm.
So I feel like this one's gonna make its money back later on. We might not see a sequel of Mad Max if this hurts it too bad. Because even though Metal Gear is kind of, it's niche, to say the least. It's a very different kind of story, different kind of gameplay.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it's getting a 10 out of 10 everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. Plus the whole thing with Kojima leaving Konami. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, that's what I mean. You don't even play Metal Gear, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, definitely. 'Cause,
That's what I mean. It's got the underdog status with Kojima. It's got all the people who follow all of the reviews. They're going to be recommended the game. Then you have all of the Metal Gear fans. It's a shoo-in, And then when you have Mad Max, where people who like the movie are going to check it out. Other than that, you have people who are fans of Avalanche Studios, for Just Cause, but that's not everybody.
Yeah, that's a niche in itself.
Exactly. And then you have the people who know. If you even know that it's being developed by a similar Warner Bros. Studio, Warner Bros. Owns the title to Mad Max, so it's got that Batman kind of gameplay for the fighting mechanics. So you have some fans there,
Yeah,
but it's a very different game. It's a different title, a different IP.
but I mean cars.
That's why I'm excited for the car combat. I hope it's good. From what I've seen, it looks good. It's not the same as the movie, which is going to turn off a lot of people because you just can't have that kind. It can't
Yeah,
be.
right.
Yeah, it's just can't be done.
No.
But I just feel like it's going to be dangerous. I don't know which one to buy, though. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I'm on the hype train for Mad Max. I'm on the hype train for Metal Gear. I can't afford both.
I don't know.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think I should buy?
I mean,
I'm going to use this podcast as my own personal recommendation. What do you think I should buy?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna buy Metal Gear,
Mhm.
and if I do, I'm probably gonna buy it for PC. But I've been thinking about getting into PS4. Not buying my own because you have yours. But
He's just going to come over and steal my.
what else am I gonna do? Am I gonna buy a PS4 to play at your house when you have a PS4?
Yeah.
No.
Dave already uses it to play Batman.
Exactly.
So.
So if I get Metal Gear for the PS4,
Right.
you're gonna play it then.
Yeah, that you have a good point there.
So
You have a good point.
we'll have to talk about that and think about that.
You got me. Now you got me.
See, I just started thinking about that a little while ago.
I think you're onto something here. There's one last thing I wanted to talk about, and we can kind of go off in different things, is the Mega Man collection. You guys play Mega Man?
I was never really super
Not
big
in a
into
long
Mega
time.
Man. I did the one that I was really interested in was Mega Man Legends for the PS1.
So this is gonna be a really short topic. Speaking of Mega Man Legends, we'll get off of the Mega Man collection. I just want to say I'm definitely buying it. I love Mega Man. This has, I believe, 1 through 8 on it. 8 was my favorite just because it came out on the PlayStation. It's not the best Mega Man by all means. That's probably 2 or 3.
But it's the one that's special to you.
It's the one that's special to me because it was the first Mega Man from the core series I played. I played a lot of Mega Man X, which is, I don't say it's my favorite Mega Man game because they're 2 different characters. They're 2 different series. Similar gameplay. They're very different, though.
Yeah.
But out of the Mega Man series, Mega Man 8 was just what was close to me. Having that soccer ball, which is a terrible weapon, by the way, but was awesome. But we'll go into Mega Man Legends a little bit. They just announced another Kickstarter for the Mega Man Legends spiritual successor. This one's for the anime that goes along with it. Now, I feel like they're dropping the ball here. They did the Mega Man spiritual successor, Mighty Number 9, the creator of Mega Man. Is it Keiji Inafune? Is that his name?
I have no idea.
I'm terrible with those names. I have a hard enough time pronouncing your last name, let alone.
Right. I saw
I got
Mighty
it
Number
down
9. It looked interesting,
No.
but I was never really into those games. But
It looks interesting. I was super excited for it, and then they pushed it back again. Now
Really?
it's not coming out till 2016.
shit.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit worried that it might, be having some trouble, which obviously it's having trouble. Why else would it get pushed back?
Yeah.
I still hope it's good. It's a different kind of gameplay. It's very score-oriented rather than Mega Man where it's about beating the level. You can die as many times as you want. Sometimes it's better to get hit because you can phase through different blasts. Whereas with Mighty Number 9, it's about maximizing that score. How fast can you get through the level? How precise can you get through that level? Which is just a different kind of gameplay for Mega Man. So I was excited for that. But it's still the same thing. You still play as a robot who can steal a robot's powers by killing them.
Yeah.
Similar gameplay. Same thing with Red Ash, which is the spiritual successor to Mega Man Legends. It's got that RPG element. It's 3D. You run around the world. You get the different equipment.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, and it comes along with the anime. I know you're a big anime fan.
Yeah.
I was going to recommend this Kickstarter to you.
All right.
Yeah, you should check it out. Give money if you want to. The problem I have with it is Mighty Number 9 hasn't even come out yet. That Kickstarter was a success. But like now he's already asking for more money for this one. I know with these Kickstarter programs, they don't make a lot of money at first. So it's like you got to move from one project to another project, get another funding. He has people to employ. I
Yeah.
get that. But like then he just launched another Kickstarter for the anime. It's like, man.
But like if you ask people for money, you want to make good on what you
That's-
told them you're going to give them.
That's my problem with it. I gave the Mighty Number 9. I'm excited to receive Mighty Number 9. I'm not going to give him money yet until I know how
Yeah,
good Mighty
like-
Number 9 is.
I'm a little upset right now because I gave money to this thing called Hullabaloo.
Yeah?
Hand-drawn steampunk short film.
Oh, okay. That sounds
A bunch of people who worked on some Disney movies are in charge of this thing.
neat. Ooh.
And I funded it like back in sometime last year.
Oh, so you
and
might
it-
actually have a problem
Yeah,
with
it was
Kickstarter.
it was supposed to come out this summer.
Yeah.
And I have nothing in my inbox.
Right. See now, there's a new crowdfunding platform that just launched. I think it's called the Fig,
Yeah.
which is based off a hotel in L.A. that a lot of these a lot of these people meet up at, and this is basically what a lot of people have been going for. Colin Moriarty is a big proponent for this kind of thing. Is you're giving the money to these studios for free, and you're getting your product, but wouldn't it be better if you actually invested in it?
Yeah, right?
If you got some points in the product, and that's what this is. You have to be a legal investor. You have to have the license to invest. So it basically means you have to have the money to invest. So people aren't blowing up all their money, making bad on their investment.
Yeah.
So you have to be a legal investor, which I think means you have to have a certain amount of money with I think it's like a couple, like maybe $1,000.
Like maybe be in a certain tax bracket.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's the same thing you have to do if you try to buy stocks.
Yeah.
It's the same problem you have. So not just anybody can do it, but you essentially get shares in these video games or movies and these projects.
sweet.
Yes, I think it's really awesome. I've been looking into it. I might support things. It really depends on what comes to the platform. It's the same thing I felt about Kickstarter, Indiegogo, all these things. It really depends on the project. I supported 3 Kickstarters. I can't remember off the top of my head. One was a card game. One was Mighty Number 9. I can't remember what the other one was. You supported Kickstarters before, right, Jordan?
The only ones that I've supported were from my friend Noah that's in a gaming company.
But they've made what's the plug his gaming company?
The name is Flow to Go Games.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Their most successful one is called Something Different. It's a card game, kind of like an Uno type game, but there's a lot of extra different things that you do with that.
Okay, and they made good on their investment when you gave them money. You
Yeah.
got your product, right?
I got everything right away. They got all their shipments out as fast as they could.
And were you happy with your product?
Yeah, I was very happy with
Now,
the
see,
product.
that's a good Kickstarter right there.
Yeah.
Not saying Mighty Number 9 is a bad Kickstarter. I don't regret giving them money.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
just worried.
I don't regret funding Hullabaloo. I'm really excited for it. I just
You
wanna
just wish
see
it was here, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They don't promise any of this stuff, you know. You're giving them your money and hoping, and that's where the fig thing comes in. Like that seems awesome.
Yeah.
That's something I can get behind, and I'm going to look into it.
And like they already reached their goal by the time I gave them money. I was like, why not?
Right now, yeah,
Throw
exactly.
more
It's
on the
already
pile.
funded,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep, and that's kind of. I think I was a little
You were
bit.
planning on making this? Well, here's something to make something a little better.
Mighty Number 9, I think I gave like day 4, which so I think they're already funded as well because I think that got funded the first day.
Speaking of crowdfunded things, the spiritual successor for Banjo Kazooie,
Yeah, ukulele.
that made its goal in like what, 48 hours or something?
No, less than that. It was like the first day.
Shit.
It was like 10 some hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't give the ukulele just because I hadn't played Banjo Kazooie at the time.
I heard about it after it made its goal, so I was like, man, I could have thrown money at that.
Right. I'm still excited. You can still give money and get your
Yeah.
product. You know. I'm probably just gonna wait for that one to come out. Now that I just don't have that personal attachment to Banjo Kazooie. Like we talked about last week, you're super into Rare Replay
Yeah.
right now, and I'm gonna check it out. I played a little bit of Banjo Kazooie when it was on N64 originally, and then Nuts and Bolts for 360.
Ooh,
You don't like Nuts and Bolts?
nuts and bolts. I haven't played it, but just seeing it, I cringe.
Not that classic banjo that you crave.
Well, I mean, like, because like I saw this thing about it. They have like all the assets in there for like a 3D platforming thing, but all of a sudden they're just like, no, we're doing cars. You got to build them, drive around. It's like Mad Max, but no.
See, now you toss cars, I might check that out. That kind of sounds up my alley. I'm not a super big racer, but I like the build your own.
Yeah.
When it comes to cars, that's why I love Need for Speed. I'm not a huge racer guy, but you say I can build my own car.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm into
like
it.
you would probably enjoy it because you don't have the attachment to the original Banjo Kazooies.
Right.
But me, I'm super into banjo, and then I go into 3. I'd be like, get this away.
See, that blows
Get
my
rid of
mind.
it.
You're super into banjo, but you don't know that much about the Fantastic Four.
I don't get it. Is this a joke?
It's just upsetting. That's all.
I grew up on Banjo Kazooie.
One final thing. Don't feel any pressure here. I just want to know if you hate anything this week. We're getting close to our time here.
I do have something that I hate.
Okay, so this is a segment we call Dave Hates Everything. It's usually off the cuff. Dave hates everything. I'm internally optimistic. What do you hate this week?
What I hate this week and most of my existence is when characters for voice actors a character's voice gets replaced by another actor. And I mean I
Ooh.
understand like there are situations where it's like
Of course, there's usually a reason behind
Yeah.
it. They don't do it to upset the fan.
there's always the heartbreaking situation of they died.
They died. Character can't come back. Sometimes the artist isn't asked to come back. You
Yeah.
know. But I don't want to interrupt you too much. But ones that I can tell you off the top of my head that I hate is when Icky was replaced in Metabot season 2.
Ooh.
That it's a kid's show. It was a kids anime that was only on for 3
that's
seasons.
The thing. We were kids. We were super attached to that character, and then like
I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I cried.
when I saw the first episode, I was like, "So is this like Icky's son?"
Yeah,
or
it had to be something different, right? But no,
what-
it's the same
what's going on?
character. Ash, when Ash got replaced, I think season 2 of Pokemon.
Yep.
A lot of people don't notice it now because it's just the raspy kid voice. I don't know why an 8-year-old is smoking menthols, but he sounds like it.
Pikachu, use a thunderbolt.
Use a thunderbolt. Howard.
Howard.
Pikachu, you Thunderbolt.
That was really upsetting. And then recently, when they did the Penguins movie, which Penguin Show is the silly show on Nickelodeon, but voiced by John DiMaggio, and they replaced him in the movie.
Right?
He
And
was the
he's-
reason why Penguins got good again.
And he's a phenomenal voice actor.
He's the best voice actor. He's my favorite.
Joker, Under the Red Hood.
Oh my god!
Watch that.
Jake
listen to
from
his
Adventure
voice.
Time. Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. This man is a genius.
Bender. Futurama.
Fucking Bender. And they replaced him in the movie. I don't know if it was just. I think they went with a name. Like a bigger
Yeah.
name. But that is the dickest
He's
move
a
I've ever
pretty
heard.
big name in voice acting.
I know, and I know. Like, I'm sure they did not miss my $4 or whatever cents that I would have paid to go see it. But
Yeah.
fuck them.
But
I think that was DreamWorks who does the Madagascar movies. Yeah, I'm very upset about that.
speaking of the heartbreaking situation where the actor dies,
Yeah,
I always think of Avatar,
Yeah.
The Last Airbender.
who got replaced?
Uncle
in that?
Iroh.
Uncle
Yeah,
Iroh.
the voice of Uncle Iroh.
Oh, he was so good in the first
He
season.
died was it right near the end of season 2 or
Yeah,
something?
around the end of season 2, I think it was.
And like as a kid, I was pissed.
Right.
But I didn't understand that he had died.
Right, you didn't understand he passed away.
Yeah,
They didn't just
looking
replace him
looking
for fun,
back,
you
I
know?
was just, oh my god, I'm
That's
a
sad.
terrible, shitty person.
Well, I mean, you are. Like
Yeah.
that's not wrong.
Well, no, I'm
That is completely correct.
we never. We never try to fight that fact.
But no, okay, I can see how you hate it. What's some of the ones that you feel was just arbitrary, similar to the John DiMaggio situation?
The one that made me really mad was in Bleach.
Okay,
I can't.
I love Bleach.
Kenpachi Zaraki.
Oh, that's right, they did replace him, didn't they? What was that? Season 4?
No, it was like in season 6.
I get so confused because all the filler stuff that happened. there.
Season
Season
6,
when,
so by that I'd think maybe season 7.
Okay, so
probably,
when they
but-
were fighting Ising.
yeah,
Okay,
because
all right.
like his voice matched his character so well at first.
Definitely, I thought
And-
he was one of the better voices on that show.
Yeah, and then just out of nowhere he gets this raspier voice, and it's like he's just trying to be a badass the whole
It
time.
kind of reminded me like they was kind of impersonating Clint Eastwood a little bit in the newer voice.
I totally
Yeah.
get that.
But I mean, when you have Johnny Bosch, I feel like you got to bring in some characters. It's like, how do you overshadow? Damn it, you bastard! Every 30 seconds. Do you know what we're talking? Do you watch Bleach?
No, I don't watch Bleach.
Well, we're nerds, so we watch Bleach. We've fallen off the horse a while back, but
It's okay. I'm not really a nerd, so
yeah. How many board games do you own?
I don't own any board games.
You lying sack of
And
crap.
like also in Bleach, there were incidental episodes where like side characters they'd get a different voice for one reason or another, and that would cheese me off. But
Did they ever replace anybody big in Dragon Ball Z before Kai?
mm,
That series is
I
notorious for
don't- I'm
keeping the
not
same
sure.
I don't
voices.
think they did.
I guess not notorious isn't the right word. Famous for, you know.
because that gets confusing because they had about 3 different dubbings for DBZ.
Yeah, the Canadian, the
Yep.
Japanese, the American.
Not to mention there was one like back in the 80s that was
The
tried and
The
failed.
Korean dub is a thing. So I mean, there's lots of different versions. Especially because a lot of those DVDs have good quality. They ship with a lot of those different dubs
Yeah.
on there, so you can check out multiple
because
ones,
like
which is neat.
as a child I was confused because I had the VHS of the Ocean Group dubbing from
Which
Canada.
the Canada,
Yeah.
I
And-
didn't mind some of the voice acting
No,
on that.
I thought Krillin was actually really good in that.
Yeah.
He actually sounded more like the Krillin from Dragon Ball.
Vegeta now is kind of famous for me, but I like the Vegeta from that one.
Yeah. Like that Vegeta is used in the Over 9000 thing.
Yeah.
Like that is straight from
I
the
know
Ocean
that's
Group dub.
exactly that one because it's such a perfect yell.
Also, the Ocean Group dubbing of Goku is the same voice as Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Think about that. Think about that.
I didn't like the Goku. I'm not just saying that because he's Ralph. I know he's Ralph, but I
No,
didn't
it was
like
it was fucking terrible.
It reminds me like it's really neat. They let the same character do it. Like isn't it a woman in Japan who's
Yeah,
always voiced
yeah.
Goku?
In Japanese culture with voice actors, if they get that job, they have it for
they
life.
And like I like that. I like that as a thing, but I hate that voice for adult Goku.
Oh my god.
You know me. I'm a proponent for the dub.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of watching sub stuff. I waited for Attack on Titan, which is kind of a mistake.
See,
The
that's
the American dub, the English dub, I guess there's not multiple for that one. Is
So
terrible.
bad.
Yeah, I don't really like that one.
they used the guy who did the voice of Kirito for the main character.
Yeah, you didn't like that?
No, he was actually very bad for that character.
I don't mind him as that one. I think more of it is like a lot of the guys. The main battle. What's the name of that group? The ones that attack the Titans.
Oh, the scout.
The scout group. The older guys, like the guy with the mustache. A lot of those guys. What? What's up with those guys? Those guys just seem silly.
The voice of Captain Levi is really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
I feel bad because I'm not a huge fan of Attack on Titan, so I don't know a lot of these
And
characters.
I,
but
I think they used the same guy who does the voice of Trunks.
oh,
from
okay.
DBZ.
I like
And
Trunks.
I like him. I love him. He's a
But
pretty good
it's-
voice actor.
It's different characters,
Yeah,
you know.
he's just really bad for that character.
So, in summary, damn it, for
You
replacing these guys, unless they died,
Yeah,
you're okay with that
yeah.
one.
Then I'm sorry. You did a great job.
Dave's a terrible person.
Yeah.
So, in summary, don't go see Fantastic Four. Dave's a terrible person.
I mean, Dave hates everything, and everything hates Dave.
and everything hates Dave. I think that's a good message.
Like I'm not saying that the guy who did the voice of Iroh as the replacement was terrible. He did a good job.
right.
for
You
what he
just
had.
you just weren't excited for
Yeah.
him as that.
It bugs me a little bit to hear it, but it's like,
Right.
what else?
Well,
am
it's the
I
same
gonna
thing
get?
I always say. Like, even if I don't like a movie, like I don't think I'm going to like the Fantastic Four. Again, I haven't seen it, so I'm going to give him a little bit of the doubt there. I don't want to see it. I'm not going to ask people to pay to see it. I'm not going to recommend it either. But they
Go
made
see it.
they made a movie. How many movies have I made? How many Moonwells have you fucking built?
Not many.
Exactly. It's a Warcraft 3 thing. Again, we're super nerds.
Yeah.
I haven't made a movie. I'm not going to talk shit about him because it's hard to make a fucking movie. I'm sure it's not easy. I'm sure Josh Trank did everything he could to make a good movie. I'm sure Fox wanted a good movie to be made. Shit happens. That
They
doesn't
ju-
mean it's a better movie. I still don't think it's good.
I just think they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. And I don't think I can do a better job. I would never say that. and it's a way better Fantastic Four movie than I would ever make.
Exactly. Like, I agree with that.
We just
I
like to
wouldn't have
judge
done a better
things. Yeah.
job necessarily. I mean, if I had the resources and like
Who knows? Maybe, but I don't
the
think I could have.
knowledge of how to make a movie and
It's
everything.
a lot easier to look at
But-
something that's already been done and say, well, you should have done it this way. and that
Exactly.
way.
Right.
But
at
when
the
you're trying to
same
make it, you're
time-
like, oh God, what do I do?
At the same time, from the start, I'm not gonna do something unless I know that it's gonna be.
Yeah,
like,
that's a problem.
prime
You know,
thing.
we want a good movie.
Right.
Fox wants to make money,
Right. I mean,
and that's not them being bad. That's their company. That's the thing. That's about bottom lines.
But like at the same time, you'd also think that those two would be synonymous.
you'd think it would be, but that's not always true.
I know.
Look at the Transformers series.
Oh, good God.
Again, I don't think I can make a better Transformers movie, but those movies I don't think are good, in my opinion.
I want to redact my previous Dave hates everything and replace it with one word. Actually, no, a couple words. Michael Bay's Transformers.
Michael Bay in general.
I mean, I get some enjoyment out of Michael Bay. Explosions are fun, guys.
They are,
cheap
but-
fun.
You know what wasn't terrible, and I know he didn't. I think he only produced it, but that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, that wasn't terrible.
I never gave that a shot.
It
Yeah.
was okay.
It was okay. It was very
okay.
okay. I thought it was going to be really bad though. Maybe it was just a fact of low expectations.
I thought it was gonna be okay, and it turned out okay.
Yeah, it
so-
turned out just
was,
okay.
Was that
but-
one that he only produced on a while back? It was based on the book I Am Number 4.
I Am Number 4 wasn't a bad
Yeah,
movie.
that-
I like the book series. They're tween novels,
Yeah.
but the book series is pretty solid. But
Yeah.
that movie wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
the movie
wasn't
was
bad,
solid.
Yeah,
Although
it's never getting a sequel, but
No.
that one scene where like the girl blows up the house using the oven, I'm like, well, Michael Bay, right
I don't
there.
know why she did that because she had powers. Like she could have just
It,
blown it
it
up.
was in Michael Bay's contract.
I just like I'll watch anything with Timothy Olyphant in it. I'm a huge Justified fan, so if he's in the movie, I'm like, yeah, that's probably a good movie.
Yeah.
The old Hitman movie, I didn't think that was that bad. Timothy Olyphant. You guys gonna go see the new Hitman?
It looks really good.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited.
I
for
feel like Hitman. Like I feel like James Bond. Like those are good action movies, but I don't
Yeah.
care. Like I like the Hitman games. I play them, but I'm not attached to them.
Yeah,
it. I'm not attached
I
to 'em
never
either, it
got
just
into the
looks really
Hitman
cool.
series.
Right. It reminds me of and I think the guy played the Jason Statham vehicle
Driver?
transporter.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's a driver, but you know, I mean, similar. You know,
He
it's the
drives a
same thing.
car And people get
I like
beat
those
up.
movies. It's good action movie. I'm a huge kung fu movie guy.
Yeah.
Any martial arts movie I'll watch, but that doesn't make them good movies.
No.
Good action scenes doesn't make a good.
Good
movie.
entertainment.
Exactly. It's popcorn. You know,
Yeah.
it's a popcorn flick. Well, I think that's about it for the Cave Troll podcast. Do you guys want to add anything before we go?
I'm good.
I think that covers everything.
All right, I'm gonna plug my Twitter real quick, which is because it's gonna take me an hour. It's Resident Stevel, REZIDENTSTEEVIL. Good luck finding it. If you don't find it, that's fine. Subscribe to somebody whose name is a lot easier to spell. You know, just find them. Tell them I directed you to them. Give me the credit for it, because you're never gonna find my Twitter. Dave, do you want to plug anything?
Loot Crate.
Loot Crate? You're gonna plug? We don't have a spot. Don't give them free money, Dave. No, I mean we're not sponsored. I gotta say that we're not sponsored by Loot Crate or anything, but I do love it. This is my first month I've got Loot Crate and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is my second one, and it was the tits.
I love my mug. I wish Loot Crate would give me money. They're not going to,
No.
but yeah, check it out.
You never know. I mean, next subscription, you might get a check in the box.
You know what? I want to extend this a little bit. I want to talk about subscription boxes real quick. I know no one's. If anyone's listening at this point, it doesn't matter anyways.
They just don't care.
They just forgot
Neither
to shut
do
us
we.
off. Do you have any subscription boxes, Jordan?
Nope.
No. Have you been willing to check out anyone?
I mean, I kind of wanted to get the Legend of Zelda one, but it's
From Geek Fuel, they're
Yeah. it's so expensive, and honestly, like, I don't think it's worth it for what you get inside.
I've seen a couple of analyses of the subscription boxes. Loot Crate has the most for your money. Most of their boxes total at least $60, which is more than any other one. But that doesn't always mean you get what you want out of that box.
Yeah. But you get a pretty decent variety.
You definitely do. And if you subscribe for the year, it's definitely worth it. Just by monetary value,
Yeah.
it's worth it. But there are different things like I don't know if it's Geek Fuel or one of the other ones. There's a couple that cater to you. Like there's just a comic book box.
Mhm.
There's just a video game box. Nintendo has its own subscription box. Marvel has its own subscription box. I think Marvel partnered with Pop Vinyl.
Yeah,
With
that's what
the
I don't
Funko?
want to do.
Yeah, I don't like
Marvel
those
one.
figures.
I'm not a big guy. I'm not big into the Funko,
No,
the
they-
Funko
they
vinyls, but
just look silly.
yeah, I had one or two. I sold them. I had the Transformers ones when that came out. I had Bumblebee and Optimus. I just sold them. Not super into them, but check out those. It's a really cool idea. Support these because I don't want them to die. I want to be able to pick and choose. I want you guys to pay for them, so when I feel like buying a box, I can go get it.
Your choices.
I have my choices exactly. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I think I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna try to sign off again.
All right.
So this is the Cave Troll Podcast. I'm Terry. That's
Dave.
and
Jordan.
perfect. All right. Goodbye.